in that first leg and came away with a 5-point defeat. They need to get up off the canvas, come out and play well tonight. You can see up in that top right, if they can win this tie, Neptunas or Strasbourg, either one, they will advance. Those two teams, the winner of this tie will advance to place Ike, who have just shocked Chesnenberg in the Czech Republic. Kevin Punter hitting a late go-ahead three-pointer, actually with 2.8 seconds remaining. Let's put Ike in front, and they have won that game 93-82 on aggregate, thus winning that tie. Unbelievable scenes. Well, you've got, there it is, that confirms it. So the winner of this tie will advance to take on Ike, who have won it 181-180. This, folks, is the Basketball Champions League. This is what it's all about. It's about playoff drama. It's about round of 16 drama. It's about trying to get to the Final Four. But you got to play every second of every game, and you've got to play to the end. And Ike, who needed, remember, that three-pointer from Dusan Shikoda just to get to the playoffs against Midi Beirut, have now gotten that three-pointer from Punter. Anyway, back to this game. Neptunas Klaipeda, Kazas Maxvidis, the coach. Not sure about Brandon Fields. He wasn't able to go last week. Jerry Johnson logged a lot of minutes at point guard. Delina Kaitis and Sebudis, the veterans of this team, no doubt they have to play big, you would think, for them to have a chance in this game. Of course, they only need, they can afford a loss of 4 points. If they do, they would win by 1 point on aggregate. Talking about Neptunas. For SIG Strasbourg, Vincent Collet, well, he's got a lot of weapons, and they need to come out and play well early. D-Boss, Damian Ingles, they both played well for much of the season. Zach Wright, Levi Randolph, Darian Atkins, Labaree, still coming back from the wrist injury. How good was David Logan in the last game that these two teams played? He was excellent. So who is the favorite to go through? Well, you know, Neptunas, they've given themselves a chance with that first leg triumph. Winning at 73-68. Now it's all about trying to press home that advantage.
Neptunas Klaipeda, composé en numéro 0, Brendan Fields. Numéro 5, number 5, Terry Johnson. Numéro 7, number 7, Neptunas Klaipeda.
Well, Fields has been introduced tonight, although he was last week as well, but we'll see if he's going to be able to go tonight. There's Delina Nikaitis, had the 22 points last week. He was terrific. Sebudis, always solid. And that man right there, you have to say, Gelionis, is a real warrior, a real workhorse. Chakavicius didn't play much, but he played well in the limited time that he got, as did Galdicus, the captain. And more you see Šulskis playing an important role with this Neptunas Klaipeda team. He played well in that last game as well. You know, the people back in Lithuania are watching this game and getting very excited in Klaipeda about their team's prospects of possibly getting to the quarterfinals. It has been a real up and down season for them. They've had a lot of adversity they've had to overcome. And the same could be said for SIG Strasbourg. Remember, they went into their last regular season game and not even knowing if they were going to be in the playoffs, but they won convincingly at Banvit and ended up finishing first in their group. So SIG Strasbourg won their group, but they lost the first leg of this tie. I mean, it's one of these situations that they emerged from really the most difficult group. And, you know, then they didn't get off on the right foot at Neptunas. The one thing you would have thought that Vincent Collet's team would have wanted would have been to at least leave with some type of lead from that first game, not to give Neptunas any self-belief. So we'll see how this team is going to come out tonight. It'll be an interesting game for sure. Jeremy Leloup and D. Bost getting ready before the game here. Remember, D. Bost started the season with Žalgiris Kaunas. He's actually been a game day MVP of the week since moving to Strasbourg in late December. Levi Randolph also joined this team during the season. Zach Wright, both he and D. Bost played for Monaco last year. They played at the Final Four. Louis Laberie, the France international, has missed some time with injury, but he made it back to play last week, and they'll need him to play well tonight. I wonder how many people get hurt in that little routine that Strasbourg have before the game. Portal is going to be the last one out, the youngster. So we're going to get a look at the starting fives for both teams. We'll get a look at the referees. Speaking of the referees, there they are. Antonio Conde of Spain in the middle, and then a couple of Turkish refs, Yilmaz and Oslan. And Front Pietrus, now with SIG Strasbourg, but not able to play here tonight, the French great. The Kazakhs Max Vitas, the head coach. Atkins started relatively slowly last week, I thought, but wasn't really at his best. So you can see the fans really into this one, really trying to make a difference tonight for SIG. Is this a team that can make it all the way to the Final Four? Well, I mean, if they win this one, they would have a shot. D. Bost, David Logan, Zach Wright, Louis Laberie, and Miro Balan in that starting five. Vincent Collet, the coach.
Applaudissements au 5 de départ de la SIG Strasbourg. Applaudissements à D. Bost, Zach Wright, Louis Laberie, David Logan, Miro Balan. Et ce soir, tous ensemble, donnez-moi un S, donnez-moi un I, donnez-moi un G.
So the starters coming out onto the court here for Strasbourg and ready to go up against their Neptunas counterparts. See Elias, And that starting five, Zelionis, Sebudis, Jerry Johnson, and there's Laborie. Also Gaudicus, the captain in that starting five as well for Neptunas. So it's a sea of red tonight for SIG Strasbourg. Welcome to Strasbourg, France, folks. This is the Basketball Champions League round of 16 tie, the second leg between Neptunas Klaipeda in white and the hosts of tonight's game, SIG Strasbourg, in the dark uniforms. And D. Bost, chaotic start here. Remember, Neptunas leading by 5 points on aggregate. You could follow that aggregate score line at the bottom of the graphic there. That is the score that will determine who advances to the quarterfinals. Cassielius gets inside and draws the foul. Remember, the winner will face Ike, who have won in dramatic circumstances tonight at Chesnimberg by a single point with a late three-pointer from Kevin Punter. So Zach Wright picks up his first foul. And Cassielius doesn't get any love from the rim on that. Wow, he missed two. And Miro Milan gets inside and scores. First points of the game. Three-pointer from the right, and Sebudis misses, but Zelionis there for the offensive rebound and putback. Well, if you're players on either of these teams tonight, you just got to leave it all out there, don't you? I mean, this is what we've been seeing in these round of 16 ties. Players just exhausted when they walk off the courts because you got to play the full 40. I mean, you've got to go hard the whole time because it's not over till it's over. And I think Zelionis might have had a foot on the line. Then he kind of collided with Cassielius. Sebudis open for three. Zach Wright turns. Oh, missed a layup. He's going to be upset with himself. Had the great move, but didn't have the finish. Jerry Johnson gets his shot blocked by Bost. Zelionis. And the pass to Gaudicus, gets it over to Johnson, wide open. Now Bost pulls up. And the shot rebounded by Gaudicus. And the other end, and Gaudicus gets on the scoreboard. Zach Wright misses. And then boxing out, a foul on Zelionis. Remember, he got into some foul trouble. Both he and Galdikas actually fouled out in the first leg. So staying on the court is often quite a task for those two players, and that's something that Max Vitas has to monitor. Obviously, he can't give away any silly fouls. Here's Boss, hands it off to Milan, and he goes in for the jam. And now Johnson harassed in the backcourt, doesn't get it over in time. Great defense from SIG Strasbourg, forcing the backcourt violation. Zach Wright into Milan. Bounce pass. Milan. And Galdikas brings it down. Hands it off to Jerry Johnson. Galdikas has to watch his elbows. Johnson into the corner to Zelionis. Well, they were patient. They got an open three. And Labaree takes the bump, turns it over. Johnson hits the trailer, and somehow Sabutis ends up with it, misses. And then Zelionis gets the offensive rebound and put back. Wow. Ten-point lead on aggregate for Neptunas Klaipeda. And another turnover. Good defense from Galdikas. And Galdikas looks a little tired. He might want to come out of the game. Zelionis again, goes under, gets the rebound back, puts it up and in. And the man who has really carried a lot of weight on his shoulders all season long refuses to quit. He just stays after it. Look at him fight. This is why they love him in Klaipeda. It's not always pretty, but it sure is effective. And now the aggregate lead is 12 points. See the rebounding totals. And that's part of it. You can see Neptune is doing a good job on the offensive glass. And it's, you know, they have to get a lot of their points scrapping, hustling. Shulskas has yet to enter the game. Delinakaitis has yet to enter the game. So they do have some weapons that will come in. Kachinas, meanwhile, will enter the game. Mendogas Kachinas, and I thought he actually took a step forward in their last game. Played very well. Let's see how SIG play coming out of the timeout. So Kachinas into the game, picks up a foul on Bilan immediately. And now he picks up a second one. And he's only been on the court for 6 seconds. He's picked up 2 fouls in 6 seconds. He might have to come out. Boss drives in and gets the layup. He saw he had the mismatch. He was guarded by Zelionis. Sabutis looks for an opening. And Kachinas goes in and is hit by Atkins. So Kachinas turns from the fouler to the man being fouled. And he gets a couple of free throws. Mendogas Kachinas played for the South Carolina Gamecocks, college basketball. Played for Frank Martin, as did his Neptunas teammate Chakavicius. So that free throw takes it up to 13-6 now. And Bilan goes in for the dunk and misses. I like his aggression tonight. Just didn't finish. Now Zelionis. He has it knocked away by Atkins. Now it's Bost in the open floor, and he goes in for the fast break layup. I'm not sure if he quite dunked it or not. Watch this. I think he did dunk it. Barely. He certainly could have put it down with a little bit more power if he wanted. Zelionis decides to go in. Earns another trip to the free throw line. And Miro Balan will come out. Zelionis just keeps making plays. You know, often he starts fast. He kind of sets the tone, and it's kind of what he's done tonight. He's got 7 points, now 8 points, leading all scorers in this game. And remember, his fine play earned him a call-up to Lithuania's national team in the last window, the February window. And he was able to play in Lithuania's 2 wins. Now the alley-oop pass. Inglis in the game, gets the rebound, hands it out to Boss. Now he's got it. And now the shot from Levi Randolph, a little bit short. Bounce pass. Clock, final seconds of the shot clock. Zelionis got it off in time. Now Boss from deep hits a 3. He says, if you can leave me this open, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to make it. Five points for Boston. Now Johnson with a little runner. He's played better for Neptunas as the season has gone on. 11-point lead on aggregate. Atkins spins in the lane and scores. Johnson sizes up the defense. Zelionis comes up to make the pick, then rolls And he was blocked by Levi Randolph. Still 7 seconds on the shot clock. And the drive, and nobody picked up Schulskis, who enters the game and immediately gets on the score sheet. Vost for three, stays out. Schulskis with the rebound, and again, Sabutis takes his time, hands it off to Johnson. So Neptunas, far from being intimidated on the road, have come out and started very well. In fact, now it's Brandon Fields who's checked into the game. He's got it, so he is playing tonight. And then Schulskis is fouled up high by Levi Randolph with 1.2 seconds on the shot clock. So not a good foul by Levi Randolph. Three-point attempt from Fields right at the first quarter buzzer, stays out. But nevertheless, Neptunas win the early exchanges. They're on top 19-13, and that is an 11-point lead on aggregate. There are the early shooting numbers.
Okay, like this. Unfortunately, it goes. What did we say? Let's switch automatic. You let it go. Hey, this guy goes fast. Guys, stay high. Guys, listen up.
Applaudissements, mesdames, messieurs, à la compagnie Kivan aux côtés de Yassine. Je vais vous demander de vous lever pour envoyer toute l'énergie, match à la vie à l'avant. Il faut qu'on remonte le score avant la deuxième période. Et rien ne se fera sans vous. Ce soir, vous êtes parfaits.
Well, nervous times here in France, where SIG Strasbourg came into this on the back of a 5-point first leg defeat in Klaipeda, and that deficit has grown to 11 points. So Neptunas bringing in some new players. Delina Kaitis in the game now. He had the big first game. Here's Gaudikas back in, and Atkins fouls him. And now an offensive foul called on Kisielius. So looked like he was trying to set a screen, and he fouled Damian Inglis. So Strasbourg now bring it forward. Jeremy Leloup in the game. He passes over to Randolph, and Schulskis with the rebound. Not much going according to plan right now for SIG, that's for sure, for Strasbourg. Fields puts up a 3. It's good. Now 22-13. Don't look now, but Neptunas Klaipeda. They've got the wind in their sails, folks. If it's going to happen for Strasbourg, you would imagine it's going to happen at the defensive end first and foremost. And right now, Neptunas asking some questions that haven't been answered. Bost to Inglis. Passes it back to Atkins. Gets it out to Randolph. Shot clock winding down. Randolph has to put it up. And Gaudicus comes in and fouls Inglis on the rebound. Watch. Well, to be fair, I mean, not much. He didn't do that much. He had his arms raised, and he made contact. Labaree comes back in. Inglis inside, scores with a reverse. Leloup can often change games with his defense. So David Logan, I was starting to wonder why he hadn't entered the game yet, but here he is finally. He was so good last week. And he's coming out to guard Neptunas, which, you know, here it is, and the handoff from, and Gaudicus scores. Wow. And what has to be frustrating for Collet is that he scored with that offensive tap-in. Inglis denied. Labaree there for the putback and the foul on Gaudicus. Well, Gaudicus has picked up a couple of, I think, unfortunate fouls, really. I mean, yes, he was there in the area. And Labaree doesn't take advantage, but Leloup gets in there, rebounds, and then has it knocked out of his hands. Then Kisielius and Leloup collide. Leloup fell down. The crowd wanted some type of foul, but the referees let him play. Schulskis for 3. And the ball bounces over the backboard. So no time like the present for SIG to start shifting into a higher gear. You would expect them to turn it up a notch here. Logan from deep, and he was fouled. Oh no, they have called a technical foul on Logan for trying to bait the referee, Conde, into calling the foul. And so simulation, if you will, trying to get the foul called on Neptunas. So Neptunas will go to the line for the free throw and make it. So the lead grows to 8 in the game, and you can see David Logan telling the referee, come on, See if that lights a fire under him and under Strasbourg. A pass into the corner. Zelionis turns. Oh, look at the move from Edgar Zelionis. And that was with Jeremy Leloup trying to come down hard on that ball. He just had a quick move and got the basket, and the lead is now 15 points on aggregate. Logan drives in, and this time it's fouled by Schulskis. Miro Balan back into the game. Logan makes the first. And also makes the second. In that 73-68 loss for Strasbourg, Logan had 19 points. And now Delanakaitis, who had 19 points in that previous game. I thought he had 22, but anyway. He gets two back. There are the shooting numbers for both teams. How many threes falling?
Rebound. There is no rebound. Chaque fois, rebond est pour eux. They want it more than you guys. Stop. Lying. Okay. Show that you want it.
I think that's the key. Show that you want it, SIG. Right now, we're seeing more that Neptunas Klaipeda want it. 16 rebounds, and that's an indicator, the rebounding. So yeah, it was definitely 19 points for Delanakaitis, a season-high 19 points in that last game, and he's off to a good start tonight, coming off the bench. And that's SIG Strasbourg again, coming up empty. I'll tell you, this result would raise a lot of eyebrows if Neptunas could end up holding on. After everything they've been through this season, they have really had to weather the storm. Departures of key players. Zelionis again drives in and scores. Goodness gracious. They're going to put up a statue of this man back in Klaipeda with the drive and determination that he's playing. Look at that. Look at the finish. He is off to a terrific start tonight. So the free throw good, the three-point lead, the three-point play rather. Balan picks up his second foul, and Zelionis now has 13 points. And it's all going horribly wrong for SIG, who are down by 18 points on aggregate. Unbelievable. Kisielius. Oh boy, that would have brought even more nerves to this crowd. They're quiet. Zach Wright. And looked like Miro Balan was trying to make his move before he had the ball. The ball went off of Kisielius with 4:15 remaining. And Neptunas, you have to really tip your hat to them. They're playing some serious defense. Balan maybe picked up a niggle there. Zach Wright hands it off. Inglis makes it 32-21. Strasbourg could do with a little bit of a run here at the end of the first half. Remember, both teams now over the limit. Strasbourg, they'll be over the limit as well for their next one. Quick bounce pass, Zelionis, but the foul called before the shot, so free throws coming. And the foul indeed was on D. Bost. And the foul he made on Zelionis, who now has a chance to go to 15 points on the night. And there's still 4:18 remaining in the first half. Well, he made the team of the week once. And he makes both. He had 9 points in the last game. His season high was against Gaziantep. He had 28 points. So that's some pretty big scoring games, in fact. Wright misses. Zelionis rebounds. Well, nothing comes easy in the Basketball Champions League, that's for sure. And the drive and the dog from Zelionis, who right now owns Strasbourg, France. Look at him. Terrific passing, and the lead of 20 points, 17 points for Zelionis. Inglis into Laborie, and he is fouled with 2.7 on the shot. Look at Zelionis. It's like, Coach, I've given it everything. I got to come out. I need a break. And Sabutis is going to come back in for him. They should be selling those Zelionis jerseys like hotcakes after tonight. I mean, it's an easy team to fall in love with if you live in Klaipeda, Lithuania. I mean, they have just exceeded expectations without question on the outside. I know they have expectations on the inside at Klaipeda, but how many people thought that they would be in this position potentially heading into the quarterfinals? A long way to go in this game. Don't get me wrong, 19, now 18 points, the deficit that SIG Strasbourg are facing. But clearly, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. If they can't get some stops here and maybe go on a little bit of a run before the end of the half. Neptune is playing with a lot of confidence. The reach and good play by Bost forces the turnover. Now Logan from the left. Laborie with the rebound, gets it back to Bost. Inglis spins, goes to work on Kisielius. Goes off on one leg. Boy, that was a tough shot from Inglis. Tough shot. His foot slipped. Look at that. He takes the contact, but still is strong enough to hit the shot. And timeout called by Neptunas. They want to set the table here for the final couple of minutes of this first half. What a game. Looks like SIG's starting to wake up a little bit. Neptunas getting a lot of what they want inside, 11 of 17. Look at that.
Everything the same things. They are shooting hard shots, helping recover box out.
So Max Vitas happy with his team's defense. He says we're making them take tough shots.
Catches. Reno, go for the shot. Hand off. Simas. Short roll. Here is Reno. Here is shoot. He's to shoot at short roll.
Boy, that is going to be one of the highlights. Could be one of the top 5 plays, really. Thing is, with Zelionis, you know, there's several plays that could be top 5 plays. He's just such a worker. Maybe we ought to come out with a top 5 gritty plays. Grit. Total grit. Now, the 11-point lead in the game. And up 16. Sabutis now takes it back to an 18-point lead on aggregate. Right quickly to the other end. And Sabutis calmly hands it off to Johnson. Gaudicus. And a foul called on Labaree. Nelson Collet and his brain trust, Mr. Brain Trust over there on the Strasbourg bench, try to come up with some answers here. How do you slow down this Neptunas team that just is playing with so much confidence? Well, it is March, and basketball is famous for having a lot of madness in March, and it just seems like the focus and the concentration becomes much more intense for these teams in this month, because we're at the business end of the season, and these players, they want to stay in the hunt for the trophy. Inglis thought about it. He's going to drive in instead. Labaree follows it up, and again, Neptunas avoid giving away 2 points. SIG Strasbourg just not finishing at the rim. Tough pass pulled in by Schulskis there. Johnson again, more time off the clock. Zelionis is going to come back in. Johnson and Inglis. This triggers the break. Pass back to Bost. Feet set. Logan. Good! That 3 is good. Well, he had an opening before that, but his feet weren't set. And it's always better to catch and shoot it. So, not too much alarm over there on the bench. I mean, still, he's got to hit a 3. And Max Vitas calls timeout.
Let's go do that, like, Reno here, Simas at the screen. That's inside to Simas. If no situation, Simas, you coming back to right. If Simas post, Silas, Schulz is here. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's enough.
See the rebounding totals there. Neptunas winning that battle, and that is just crucial. Taking care of business on the boards. The statistic of desire. And that just shows they've got a lot of desire tonight. Well, they know there's a long way to go in this game. And 16-point deficit. Well, they just got to get some stops. They'd like to get another couple of stops here before going to halftime. And Inglis called for the foul. Scrapping down low with Gaudicus. Gaudicus will go to the free throw line. Gaudicus misses the first one. And also the second. And now Zach Wright in the open floor. Crosses and gets in and earns the trip to the line. The foul called on Sabutis. Wright was looking like he was trying to get some contact in Sabutis. I think I agree with Sabutis. I didn't see too much contact there. Wright makes both free throws. And now a foul has been called on Logan. And the crowd doesn't like it. Logan felt like he just slipped and wasn't pushed. No, I think he nudged him. I think she got it right. So Jerry Johnson at the charity stripe where Neptunas just missed a couple, and now they've missed another one. May end up being not a bad foul in the end. Second one is good. D-ball step back three. Wright with the rebound. Looked like Schultzkes had position on him, but somehow he was able to get the ball. 5 on the shot clock. Wright, bounce pass to Inglis. Traveling. I thought that might have been, and indeed the referee makes the call. So right now, a 15-point lead on aggregate. That was an opportunity. SIG Des would have loved to have shaved some more points off the deficit. Will they attack the basket here? Shot clock down to 5. Johnson back outside. Delanikaitis over to Johnson. Has to launch it. Hits the three. Goodness gracious. And then right at the end, no good. Neptunas Klaipeda could hardly have played any better than they did in the first half. What a gritty performance from the men from Lithuania. They lead it 43-30 at halftime. 12 of 19 inside the arc for Neptunas, and then that was their third three-pointer. They've missed some free throws. If they were hitting their free throws, the lead would be even bigger. And you can hear the Strasbourg fans booing the refs as they walk off the court. Strasbourg being out-rebounded. Neptunas have the 4 steals. And it has been a surely for these fans, they would have thought that their team would come out and really try to get on top early, but it just hasn't happened. Inglis, 6 points, is leading the way for Strasbourg, whereas Zelionis has 17.6 rebounds.
ce sera 2 places pour le festival de Musiac 2018 d'Aix-les-Bains.
And just overall, just a solid 20 minutes from Neptunas Klaipeda. Probably one of the best 20 minutes, one of the best halves of basketball they've played all season. So we're at halftime. We'll be right back.
Voilà, on les met en place. Patricia contre Franck. Voilà, Franck. On va le placer. Voilà, donc Franck est en place. Patricia également pour le jeu Virgin Radio. Alors attention, vous êtes prêts? supporters de la SIG Strasbourg.
It's been so long since I've touched the wanting hand. I can't put my love on the line. I guess I hope
La SIG Strasbourg salue son partenaire Stradim, partenaire de la SIG Strasbourg en Basketball Champions League. On salue également le groupe Vinci, des copains Adidas, ainsi que la ville de Strasbourg, l'Eurométropole et la région Grand Est. On salue également les plus de 200 entreprises privées, partenaires elles aussi officielles de la SIG Strasbourg.
show me, baby. Show me, baby. I'm tired of getting caught up in those one night affairs. All I really need is somebody who will always be there. Don't you promise me the world, all that I've already heard. This time around, want me back.
Vous avez fait une bronca magnifique tout à l'heure à s'en faire siffler les oreilles. Il faudra réitérer en deuxième période sur les possessions adverses.
Talk to me.
Afin de les embrouiller, afin de ne pas leur faciliter la tâche. Ça passera bien évidemment par les joueurs, mais aussi par le public.
You've got to show me love. Words are so easy to say.
Faded off the woo-ha, bustin' out the track. In the coupe doing
Well, what can you say about that man, Zelionis? You saw him walking around, just a downright inspirational first half from him, and really overall for Neptunas. I can't imagine Kazas Maxvidis wanting anything more. And right now, for SIG Strasbourg, you see Leloup and Zach Wright talking. Jeremy Leloup. It's got to happen on the defensive end. It's got to be the rebounds. It's got to be, they've got to get some turnovers, try to score in transition. They just need to come out strong in this third quarter, and I think that they'll be right in there. But if they don't come out with the intensity immediately and get it going, this thing could be over early. The way Neptunas Klaipeda have been playing, they just seem to have the bit between the teeth. Had some incredible finishes, really. Ike Athens winning by 1 point on aggregate over Ches Nimberg in the Czech Republic with a late three-pointer from Kevin Puntner, a three-pointer with 2.8 seconds remaining. Ukan Murthia are leading now. Defending champions Iberostar Tenerife 42-33 in Tenerife. So they now lead on aggregate in that tie.
If they leave you, you will be open. Allez. They switch back up.
Monaco cruised past Jelona Gore yesterday. MHP Rees and Lewisburg lost 86-74, but still got to the quarterfinals where they will meet Midi Beirut, who drew 84-84 with Besiktas. So that'll be an all-German quarterfinal. Pino Karsiaka won by 12 points, so they won their tough tie over PAOK Thessaloniki. And Banvit were 73-64 winners over Nanterre, 92. So they were convincing winners on aggregate in that tie. So the final two are being played right now. And SIG Strasbourg clearly in trouble. Kazas Maxvidis, this would be, without question, his most famous win, you would think, as the coach of Neptunas Klaipeda. If he could, looked like that was almost an over and back there on Inglis. If he could get him to win. Labary and bumped by Kisielius, so an immediate foul on Neptunas. So 15 seconds into the second half. And Labary goes to the line and cuts into that deficit. And it looked like it was going to go in, but then it was knocked off the rim by Neptunas. So good alert play. And that's the argument for, I guess, swishing those free throws. So offensive foul called against Sabutis. On Gaudicus. Excuse me. So Gaudicus now has three fouls, and that could be an issue. It usually is. He picked up a couple of cheap ones in the first half. Now Gaudicus gets the block on Bost. Not in my house, he says. Of course, this isn't his house anyway, but now Jerry Johnson turns it over. Or no, it goes off of a Strasbourg player. They're going to say, look at this. I thought it, oh yeah, It was a kick by Bost.
I thought Johnson just lost control of it.
Johnson up high, over to Sabutis. Has it taken away by Bost. Bost is really D'ing up here in the third quarter. Spin, Zach Wright over to Logan. Long jumper off the back of the iron. Labaree with the rebound. Louis Labaree. And then a miscommunication. Inglis threw it to Labaree. He's like, why are you throwing it to me? Wow. Just not on the same page on that play. From the corner, Schulskis missed the open three, but a foul was called on the interior. Long jump shot, no good. And once again, a foul on Strasbourg trying to rebound the basketball. And the basket is good by Sabutis, so they punished him. Now Inglis gets inside, puts it up, and powers his way up for the 2 points. And the drive and the block, great defense. Johnson denied by Wright. What a great competition the Basketball Champions League it has been in this, the second edition. We got through the regular season. A lot of great games. Now we are in the playoffs. And what a playoffs it's been. These teams fighting for spots to the quarterfinals. Zach Wright takes the handoff. And now the foul called. And the ruling is that he was in the shooting motion. Yep, good call. So Zelionis whistled for his second. Gaudikas comes back into the game. First one is good. Keep your eye on that score at the bottom there, the aggregate score. That's the one that matters. Back to a 15-point deficit now for SIG Strasbourg. Oh, beautiful drive, little runner from Jerry Johnson. And this time, Bilan unsuccessful. Johnson runs the baseline, pops out, takes the handoff from Kachinas, who's in the game now. Kachinas is on the baseline, running out of time. He's going to go right at Inglis, and Inglis pushed him. I think he nudged him with his right hand. Watch. Yep. Good call by the ref. Right on the spot. So a new 14 seconds on the shot clock. Sabutis bounce pass, Gaudikas. Oh, wow, they're just playing like a well-oiled machine right now. And Johnson fouls Bost.
Possession Strasbourg.
6:17 to go here in the third quarter. The natives are restless. They want to see something from Strasbourg. The spin. Zach Wright misses Johnson. The rebound out the line, but doesn't hold on to it. Loses it. Johnson gets on the floor. And the ball will go to Neptunas, much to the annoyance of this crowd. Look at this, the hustle. Wow. That was 50-50 there. Could have gone to SIG. They're not getting the rub of the green on some of these calls right now. Hopefully for them, this thing will even out. It's a 19-point advantage on aggregate. Johnson. Shulskis from the left corner. Now Wright. Into Bilan. And scores with a short little jump hook. Now some full court pressure. Trying to get something from the defense. Will they get it across in time? Yes, they do. No, they do not. So 8-second violation, and the pressure is rewarded. I thought they had gotten it over there for a second as play continued. Lelut has come into the game. So has Levi Randolph, and then he is denied by Gaudikas, the captain of Neptunas. Now the pass to Gaudikas. Gets inside. It wasn't pretty. Milan with the rebound. Zach Wright with a little floater, and he's denied by Sabutis. Oh, just good defense. Timeout on the court. Strasbourg. Well, starting to change things up a little bit with their defense. There's some hope for the SIG fans. Neither team really catching fire from deep, and those are the shooting percentages overall.
So back to live action. Beeline inbounds it. And Strasbourg again still looking for that run that just hasn't come tonight. Bost puts up a three, misses badly, but then coming from behind, Zelionis commits foul number 5, so there'll be free throws. Free throws for Bilan. And Bilan makes a crucial free throw. Everything is crucial right now for SIG. Just 1 of 2. And Zelionis with the rebound. Strasbourg 10 of 13 at the free throw line now. Neptunas 10 of 16. Zelionis for 3. Well, right now, I feel like the opportunity is there for SIG if they can start making some shots. And Bilan gets inside and he just misses an easy one. Well, I mean, it was contested, but nevertheless, something that you would think he would make. Oh, telegraph pass intercepted by D. Bost. He's going to go in for the layup. And Max Vitas does not want D. Bost and Strasbourg to get the feeling that defensively they can start to gamble and start to get on a roll. He wants to nip this in the bud. And that was a careless pass. Careless pass by Zelionis. Four steals apiece. If you just feel like that's their best chance. I mean, they've got to start forcing turnovers because they just don't have that fluidity. That they just don't seem to be in their rhythm offensively tonight. You know, missing some easy looks down low. But if you can get D. Bost in the open floor, if you can get Zach Wright in the open floor, and Leloup in the open floor, you know, these are players that can do some damage, as well as Levi Randolph. Well, a collision with both Leloup and Kisielius going down, and now the ball goes out of bounds and it's been awarded to Neptunas. Look at this. Oh boy, it looked like it went off Zelionis' leg. That was the, watch this. It goes off his foot. And now a reach and a foul called by Antonio Conde. Well, it did look like Randolph was holding him back, so it was well spotted. And Šulskas earns a trip to the free throw line. Looking to extend the 14-point lead on aggregate, and he does, to 15. What's going to happen? You know, we've already seen one French team go out, Nanterre. They have not advanced, falling, perhaps not surprisingly, to Banvit. And now Miro Balan goes in and draws the foul from Zelionis. A lot of fouls. And you can perhaps understand why Zelionis was aggrieved to have picked up his 4th foul with a long time remaining in this game, 13 minutes. He hasn't scored in the 3rd quarter. So that is a double blow because it puts Beeline at the line as well, although Neptunas do still have that 16-point lead. Well, sometimes the best way to deal with frustration is to laugh, and that's what those SIG fans are doing. They're laughing. Even though Beeline, his struggles at the line now, 1 of 3. And makes 1 of 2. Gaudicus passes back out, 5 on the shot clock. Brandon Fields misses. Gaudicus taps it over to Delinitakaitis. Now Fields. And he dumps it down low, and another hold called on Levi Randolph. Gaudicus tonight has played like the captain. 7 points, 4 rebounds, but he's 1 of 4 at the free throw line. He makes that one. So 2 of 5. He does have 3 fouls. It just makes 1 of the 2. So 16 points again is the deficit facing SIG Strasbourg. Pump fake. Leloup hits a 3. Well, that'll get the fans on their feet. First 3 points for him in the game. Cassielius' pass batted down. Now Fields. And a 3-pointer is the answer from Sebutis. Well, nothing like a potential run buster to answer a 3 with your own 3. Bost, short. Zach Wright gets the rebound. Now into Belan. The pass to Randolph. Out to Bost. The 3 is good. Back-to-back 3s for Strasbourg. Good patient approach that time. Gaudicus whips it. Delinitakaitis open. Now Bost collects it, crosses midcourt, pulls up for 3, and off the front of the rim. And now the backcourt violation. Brandon Fields for the 2nd time. Neptunas have not gotten it across midcourt here in the 2nd half. Belan, quick spin, puts it up and in. Now the deficit is looking manageable, but a backcourt foul. It's an 11-point deficit. Free throws coming for Neptunas. It was a good turn, good patience. And Gaudicus can't really contest it like he'd like to. Now the good thing is, if there is a good thing, is they put Gaudicus on the line, and he's had his struggles. So Gaudicus goes to the free throw line, where he's made 2 of 6 free throws tonight. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds. Well, nothing to it, he says. Bends the knees, puts it up and in. Oh, he makes both. So it turns out to be a bad foul. And now, a Strasbourg player is down on the ground. Leloup, like he's been hit. Oh boy, he is bloodied. He definitely got hit. How in the world? And it appears not to have been picked up. I don't know how it happened. Well, it was Sabutis on the box out who caught him. So we saw in an earlier game tonight as well, Jamal Schuler had to go out. Oh, yeah, he called him. Sabutis, when he went in to get in position, raised his right elbow, and he caught Leloup. But referees, either they didn't see it or didn't think it was intentional, but he's had to leave to get some treatment. And now Sabutis gets it back. Boy, talk about a momentum changer. So they can hold it for the last shot here in the third quarter. Brandon Fields pulls up for 3. And now the foul, challenging on the rebound on Gaudicus, and he's got 4 fouls. Nope. It's on Chatkevicius. So not a good foul, stopping the clock with 2.6 seconds. They would have struggled to get the ball up the floor. Beeline, who's had his struggles at the free throw line tonight, makes the first one. And makes the second as well. They've got just enough time to launch one, perhaps. Sabutis. And D-Boss was able to put him off the shot. Well, they are certainly within striking distance, folks. SIG Strasbourg trailing 57-51. That's 11 points on aggregate. – 15-24 inside the arc for Neptunas. Just looking at the foul trouble. SIG Strasbourg, Labarrie and Logan and Bilan each with 3 fouls. Randolph has 4 fouls. And Zelionis has 4 fouls for Neptunas, 3 fouls for Gaudicus, and 3 fouls for Kisielius.
quatrième et dernier carton. Tout va se jouer dans les 10 prochaines minutes. À la vie à la mort pour le quatrième et dernier carton. Je veux voir le public debout.
Well, it's been an eventful day. Pino Karsiaka winning over Pauk 79-67 to advance to the quarterfinals with an aggregate win. Remember, they lost the first leg. Banvit completed a 2-game sweep of Nanterre. They won both of their games. They won tonight 73-64 in Bandirma. So they advanced to the quarterfinals. They'll take on Monaco, who won 90-60 over Zielona Góra. Ike won the most thrilling game tonight. They won 93-82, but that gave them a 1-point win on aggregate at Ches Nimburg. Also, Murcia playing in a tight win at Tenerife. They're up by 10, which means they're leading by 5 on aggregate. Here, it's Neptunas Klaipeda, and Šulskis goes in and scores with a tough basket right here at the start of the quarter. Bounce pass to Bilan, and Bilan makes the inverted throw, ill-advised, trying to get it to right, but Kitsi Elias had it covered. One pass too many, or at least a pass to the wrong man. And now they turn it over into the hands of Wright, and Bost, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Šulskis for not playing the ball. And he wants to know, are they going to count the basket? Oh, great call by the referee. No doubt about it. And Šulskis just kind of lost it. I mean, he just wrapped his arm around him. And Bost, incredibly, could have had a 3-point play. And possession. He missed the free throw, but nevertheless, it's now 59-53, an 11-point deficit over the two legs here for SIG. Logan gets inside. Logan for 3. Bilan does everything to save it. Bost gets it over to Laborie. Bilan again. He's got the advantage size-wise. He just can't knock it down. And Kitsi Elias gets in there and gets a big rebound. Look at the hustle from Bilan. Could have been a huge trip down the floor for Strasbourg, but in the end, they just got the 2 points from Bost. Now the ball into the hands of Wright. 3-on-1 break. Logan pulls up for 3. Bilan with the rebound. And SIG Strasbourg are getting their looks. They're just not knocking them in. Logan to Inglis. Shot clock winding down. Inglis has to put it up from deep off the front of the iron. And a reach and a foul called on Bost. Gaudicus hands it off to Jerry Johnson. Zelionis still on the bench with 4 fouls. Kisielius. Oh, that was a huge three-pointer. What a shot! The lead back to 14 on aggregate. Boy, a lot of fouls in this game. Second team foul. A foul on Schulskis, trying to guard the taller Atkins in the low block. Laborie now into the game. Laborie over to Logan. Shot clock winding down. Logan got it off just in time. No, they're not going to allow it. Neptunas, they won the first leg by 5. They're winning this leg by 9. It adds up to a 14-point lead on aggregate. And it's interesting about the playoff format because you think, you'd rather have that second game at home, but Neptunas obviously took advantage, getting the win on home soil, and here they are. They've come here with confidence. They're playing great. Gaudicus scores with a layup, and Collet calls timeout.
Et là, faites-le. Si jamais ça arrive, c'est automatique switch. Tu viens, il prend dans la passe.
16-point lead on aggregate.
Et déjà, plus près sur le pic. Soit tu changes, soit tu fais rush. Si tu viens là, tu peux pas revenir sur un pop. Donc il faut que tu sois comme ça. Ou alors changer. Ok? Les gars, we need quick basket, good shots. But we cannot play slow. We cannot handle the ball. We must make the game be crazy. But with smart shots. Et quand il y a 3 secondes ouvertes.
Interesting. They want to speed up the game, but still get the good shots. They've got to try to disrupt this Neptunas team, which has just been in control tonight. Remember, Strasbourg and Collet last year got to the playoffs as the higher seeded team, and they lost the first leg at Aris Thessaloniki, and by double digits, and they just weren't able to make up that deficit at home. So some frustrated looks there on the faces of the executives of Strasbourg as their team is struggling right now. Laborie goes in, and he has had a potential three-point play there, but he didn't make the dunk. Fair enough, though, because Kisielius really bopped him on the head. So any more fouls from Neptunas? Let's see. There's Max Vitas. Talks it over with his coaching chums. Laborie takes a deep breath and makes it. So back to 15 points. Jeremy Leloup, meanwhile, back on the bench. Remember, he had to leave because of what appeared to be an elbow or a flying hand that caught him on the head and drew blood. Laborie makes the second as well. So that's a good start for SIG. 14 points, the deficit they're facing. Johnson gets it over. Plenty of time. Kachinas. Johnson to Gaudicus. Turns and scores. Wow. Just playing like a well-oiled machine tonight. Gaudicus having one of his top performances of the season offensively. 14 points for him, along with 5 rebounds. And with Zelionis in foul trouble, the 4 fouls, I mean, they may not even need to bring him back in. There he is. You see he's got the cut, so he's had to, it could be that he's had some stitches put in it. Presumably, I mean, he's the type of player you need out there if you want to make the game crazy. Pass inside, and Atkins dunks it. They can't trade baskets, though. They got to get stops. They got to force turnovers. They got to get rebounds. Gaudicus again, and Inglis reaches around and fouls him. Oh, I think they missed that one. Look at that. Surely you're not allowed to kind of like pump your elbow like that. Anyway. Long jump shot, and challenging on the boards was Schulskis. Schulskis was fouled. 4 fouls now in Strasbourg with 5.5 minutes remaining. Sabutis just inside the arc. That was an air ball. He just grazed the net. So Gaudicus tonight, close to his season high. His season high was against Elan Chalon midway through the regular season. He had 15 points in that game. He also had 14 in a win over Gaziantep. And that was a man's rebound and put back right there from Inglis. 12 points now, the deficit. Strasbourg still in with a shout here. And another foul called on Inglis. Oh. Inglis clearly perturbed by that latest call. Gosh. Second one is good. $14 points the lead on aggregate, and nice drive from Bost. Gets it right back. Now they've got to get a stop. Jerry Johnson hands it off to Zelionis, who's come back in, and he misses everything. He's been sitting on the bench too long. Atkins drives in, and Zelionis is just fouled out. .423 remaining. Can his team hold on? Well, he had a great first half, Zelionis. 17 points. And he actually finishes with 17 points. He didn't score in the second half. Atkins, meanwhile, misses a free throw. You can't miss free throws in these situations. Makes one of two. It's back to an 11-point game. Gaudicus. Oh, good D. Inglis knocks it out of his hands, but Sabutis picks it up. He misses. Bost wants to get it up quickly. Logan. Right down on the baseline. Logan with a step back. Hits it. Back to single digits. And Max Vitas calls timeout. 68-65. That was indeed a three-pointer. And now the lead on aggregate is just 8 points.
Va falloir y croire jusqu'au bout. 75-70.
Get it. Get it. One down, rotate. From here. Schultz is here. Get the ball. 4 out. I want the action. 4 out. See me. Go here. If they switch, be ready. High low inside. If not, 4 out. Simmons, roll in. Okay. Hey, hey. 3 minutes.
On a besoin de vous. Maintenant, jusqu'au bout. On va exploiter cette
Those are the shooting numbers tonight for both of these clubs. But another important shooting stat, always the free throws. SIG Strasbourg, 16 of 22. There's the SIG Army. They need you tonight. The battalion. Neptunas Klaipeda are 17 of 24, so they've done a good job as well. That young man has beat the drum a lot tonight. He's starting to look a little tired. Might be past his bedtime. Delinakaitis. Schulskis back to Delinakaitis. Neptunas happy to take some time off the clock. And Gaudikas gets it. Puts it up. Misses. And Strasbourg come up with it. Now this is the crazy type of finish that Collet wants. Balst has it. Inglis spins, gets in, puts it up and in! They've called the foul! The magic of the comeback. Inglis is feeling it right now. He's made a couple of plays out here. He's becoming the kind of guy that's taking matters into his own hands. So 12 points for him to go with his 4 rebounds. And he makes the free throw as well to tie it on the night. And now just a 5-point lead on aggregate for Neptunas. And a foul at midcourt will put Jerry Johnson on the line. Fans hoping that Johnson misses. Makes the first one. Well, there'll be a new champion. The Iberostar Tenerife have fallen at home to UCAM Murcia, who have won on aggregate. So this is the last of the round of 16 ties being played. And Balst gets in. A little bit of contact, nothing called. Now Johnson has it. 7 points to lead on aggregate here for Neptunas. Cassielius loses it, hasn't knocked out of his hands. Now Logan. You don't want to foul Logan, he can shoot it. Delinakaitis guarding him, over to Inglis. Back to Balst, passes up to 3, gets inside and draws the foul from Schulskis. What a play from D. Balst. Couldn't quite make the shot. And now he's on the ground. Saw D. Balst. I think it was in the last game these two teams played last week, where he actually got hit and kind of took himself out of the game. I'm trying to remember who it was that came in to take his free throw. But he's going to stay in the game this time. He's acting like he got hit in the eye. Just adds to the drama. And he misses the first one. Second one is good. So 6 points to deficit on aggregate. At bare minimum, Strasbourg would like to tie it on aggregate to force overtime. Bounce behind the back pass, picked away by Logan, but then I think it was Gaudicus got down to the ground and got his hands on it, but the jump ball or the possession arrow belongs to SIG. Look at that. He had it at first, and then it kind of squirted out of his hands. Bost again explodes, puts it up. The follow, not there. And challenging for the rebound, Neptunas have committed a foul. And they're going to call the foul on Kisielius coming over the back of Inglis, just to the left of your screen here. So Inglis will go to the line, and Kisielius is fouled out. Inglis makes the first one. Takes his time, hits the second. So 4 points, now the difference between these two teams overall on aggregate. Strasbourg have taken the lead in the game. Johnson drives, misses. Inglis comes down with it. Now Balst has it. Over to Inglis, thought about taking the three. Now he's going to back up Sabutis. He's going to turn, he's going to pass it. The ball gets away, over to Balst. Bounce pass to right, he takes the foul. Almost had a chance for a three-point play. Wright makes the first. And meanwhile, Gaudicus fouls out. The second one is good. This could turn out to be the comeback of all comebacks. Sabutis gets rejected out of bounds. Atkins said, "I'm not having that." Now the pass to Šulskis. It's a huge three. If it goes, he misses. Strasbourg bring it up the floor. Inglis fouled. Šulskis reaches in. He fouls out of the game. Incredibly, Strasbourg can tie the game on aggregate here at the free throw line. Not a smart foul by Šulskis. I mean, he's a long way away from the basket. You know you've got 4 fouls. Just play good defense.
Boy, who could have anticipated a comeback like this? And he gets a little bit of love from the rim. Pulls Strasbourg to within 1 point on aggregate. And makes both. Buckle them up, folks. We are all tied. Collet clapping away. Strasbourg have outscored Neptunas 24-13 in this fourth quarter. Johnson, shaken, Bacon, looks for an opening to the corner. Brandon Fields off the bench, off the rim. Wright has it. Wright crosses midcourt, pulls it up. Are they going to attack the rim? Are they going to take a jumper? Surely they got to get something going to the basket. Bost. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Logan, inside to Wright. He's got to put it up. He's not going to put it up. What an awful possession for SIG Strasbourg. Incredible. You've done so well to come back in the game, and then in the potential go-ahead situation, you don't even get a shot off. And now, Neptunas Klaipeda, having blown the lead, have a chance to get the win at the death.
It's shot clock. 5-5, it's equal, okay? Good screens. Good screens. Good screens, wait for what they want. Let's go.
What a game we've seen, and how ironic would it be, or how bizarre it would be, whatever word you want to choose, that Strasbourg end up losing if, in fact, Neptunas score on their final possession. Here's Neptunas, and also the specter of getting the foul and going to the line. Boy, what kind of pressure that would be. Saw Pavel Prumpala miss a couple of key free throws late tonight for Ches Nimberg, and that opened the door for Ike to hit a game-winning three-pointer. So big time. So the final 11.5 seconds in this second leg. Well, at least we think it is. Could be looking at overtime here. Neptunas get it to Sabutis. Is he going to try to score on the penetration? No, he's going to pull up for three. Short. Strasbourg have time. He launches it. We've got overtime. Wow. So they settled for a jump shot from Sabutis instead of going to the rim. Well, he's a veteran, so you can see why he would take that shot. You look at the scoring situation. I'll tell you, that was a nervous finish for Strasbourg. They must have been thinking, goodness me, we had it in our hands, and now we've got to play defense.
Even set offense angle, okay? Let's go.
What a proud moment this would be for SIG Strasbourg if they were to come back and win this tie, having been behind by 20 points on aggregate. And that was the shot that Neptunas settled for. But, I mean, the point is they've lost a few players with fouls. Zelionis is already fouled out of the game. Kisielius is fouled out. Gaudicus has fouled out. You wouldn't anticipate those guys. Maybe Zelionis. Well, Kisielius could have hit a three or getting something going to the basket. But anyway, here we are. Neptunas will start with this first possession. Delinikaitis for three. Oh, it rimmed out. Offensive rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Neptunas' ball. Delinikaitis puts up three, gets blocked, but the ball falls to Kachinas. He gets it over to Jared Johnson, and great defense prevented the shot. Logan for three, misses badly. Johnson has it taken away by Inglis. Damian Inglis with the steal. Now Bost in the open floor. Gets it to Logan again. Puts up a little runner. Strasbourg now lead on aggregate. 145-143. It's a 7-point lead in the second leg. What a gritty drive by the veteran, Delinikaitis. Well, still plenty of time for him to make his mark in this game, that's for sure. He's played 16 minutes. Inglis goes in with the left hand. Remember, Zelionis and Gaudicus have fouled out. So their two bigs are out of the game. Johnson, entry pass to Kachinas, denied once again. Inglis playing big minutes here, getting the job done. He's got 17 points, 5 rebounds. I thought he had a block there. Oh, beautiful pass. Bost, he gets it to Inglis. Inglis banks it in. 149-145 on aggregate. Johnson for three. I think it was blocked. This is now Strasbourg's game to win or lose. I mean, they can win it. They've got their hands on a 4-point lead possession. A shot here would make things very difficult for Neptunas. Atkins takes it. He gets rejected by Chepkevicius. What a play. And then Chepkevicius hustles down, gets the putback, and perhaps the unheralded Chepkevicius now rising to the occasion. Somebody's got to step up, and it's Chepkevicius. What a turn of events. He makes the great block. An offensive foul called against Strasbourg and Atkins. Boxing out on Delinikaitis.
What a game. We're in overtime. Overtime was needed because the aggregate score was tied. And Boston fouls, playing defense. And Sabutis will go to the line. Sabutis had the chance to win it at the death, but he missed a three-pointer. It wasn't really close. And first one is good. And the second one is good as well. Inglis hands it off. Logan, good, the three-pointer. .152 to 149, a minute remaining. Jack Kavicius. Now the turnover. Jerry Johnson tried to make the interior pass. It's almost like Neptune is just running out of steam here, running out of gas at the end. The quick handoff. Inglis, the pass to Atkins for the two-handed flush. And I'm not sure what Max Vitas is shouting about.
Set the screen, catch the screen. Thomas, watch fake pick, catch it out. Hey, listen up. After this, Jerry, be ready to have a fist up. Here is a only help out the big.
Well, huge turnout tonight to watch this Basketball Champions League game, and these fans have been rewarded. I mean, it was painful watching for them for such a long stretch of this game, but they have they've been rewarded for sticking with their team, and they're very close now to moving into a quarterfinal against Ike Athens. Now the steal. Boston's going to go in for the dunk. Exclamation mark. Sabutis gets rejected at the rim by Atkins. Now the turnover and a foul on Atkins with 12 seconds left. Look at this. DeBost brings so much energy to this team. Such a crucial play, and Atkins has come out and made some big plays, including that block right there. You don't really want to stop the clock if you're Strasbourg and put Neptunas on the line. That's for sure. But anyway, Collet, I think he wants to make sure that he's got all of his ducks in a row and make sure his guys know precisely what they need to do.
Zach makes a pass. see. Even Luis is going to flash. Hey, hey. It's possible to switch. Okay, hey. No foul after, okay? Hey, let's fight. Hey.
Vous êtes champion. Donnez-moi un S. Donnez-moi un I. Donnez-moi un C. Allez, un SIG.
Well, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow for Neptunas Klaipeda tonight if they end up falling. They were up by 20 points on aggregate at one point. And you can see they don't want to foul. And it's bitter disappointment for Neptunas. An incredible win for SIG Strasbourg. You can only have one winner. You can only have one loser. Somebody's got to lose. Maybe that's the best way to put it. And, I mean, you just got to tip your hat to Strasbourg. They kept fighting, and they've won this second leg 88-78. They will play Ike Athens in the quarterfinals. Well, the party is on in Strasbourg, that's for sure. They might just be thinking they're a team of destiny after watching their team claw back a 20-point deficit on aggregate during this game to win against a very determined, focused, concentrated Neptunas Klaipeda team. It was something to behold, really. I mean, it was a struggle. But they were able to get the game to overtime. They didn't execute well at the very end. They had a shot to win it. They didn't. And then Sabutis had a chance to win it for Lithuania, but he missed a three-pointer, and Strasbourg won it. Now Cole is all smiles. That's smiles of happiness, smiles of relief, smiles of we're still in the title hunt for the Basketball Champions League. And you see Inglis had the 17 points. Leonis had all 17 of his in the first half. DeBost was just terrific. I mean, 15 points. Just played with so much heart, so much energy. Look at him. I mean, you think this is a perfect place for him. He just looks like such a leader out there. Monaco, Banvit, Ukam Murthia won there, Krasjaka, but look at in the upper right, Strasbourg advanced to face Ike. We've also got Midi Beirut taking on MHP Reeds in Lewisburg in an all-German battle. All French League battle there as well, Monaco Banvit. And again, we'll have a new champion with Ukam Murthia winning tonight against Iberostar Tenerife. So, just a fitting game, really, and the great thing is we're not even over yet. We're just going to the quarterfinals. It makes you wonder how many more great games we're going to have. But I can't speak highly enough of how well Neptunas played for such a long period of this game. And they just did not have quite enough fuel in the tank to finish it. And I wonder about that last play call about Sabutis, whether or not he had the opportunity to drive and to try to pick up a foul, or whether the whole design play was to shoot the jump shot at the end. I would always think you could go for the win by putting the ball on the deck and going hard to the basket and try to get a foul, even if you don't make the shot and your teammates crash the boards. But he took the three-pointer. He was well short, and that was it right there. And that's what forced the overtime. In fact, I'm not even sure if that was the one that he missed, but it was very similar to that. So Strasbourg, who didn't even know that they would be in the playoffs going into their last regular season game, just have had to really dig deep tonight to get this win at home. And just what a great crowd. I mean, this competition is just getting better and better. And both of these teams have really played a great role. And Neptunas, I can't speak highly enough again of how they've had a great season. It's been such a joy watching them play. And you feel bad for them, but you would have felt bad as well for Strasbourg if they had lost. So that's the nature of competition. So these are the last scenes, folks. 88-78, Strasbourg win it to advance to the quarterfinals, where they will take on Ike Athens. Thanks for watching.